Today's 4K Master Route is going to start us out in the ancient sanctuary.
That's a lot of red trees to search.
They must have some sort of track or trail leading to the village.
Wait, I hear something. It might be Nevrons. Be careful, okay?
Alright, I'll tell you, this is one heck of a fun place to explore, but it is very easy to get lost. So, right off the bat, we can see one very unique Nevron here, and if you try to approach it instead of run away from you constantly, basically run the thing into a corner and you can eventually encounter it. This thing is basically a treasure trove of items. Pétank over here. Basically, we want to immediately get this thing's shields down as fast as humanly possible. And yes, oddly enough, we are going to completely redo all of Lune's attacks about midway through this episode. So, let's go ahead, and again, now that its defenses are down, let's go ahead and hit this thing with everything you've got. Because it only gives you, I believe, 3 turns before it actually runs from the battle. So let's go ahead, not even give it the chance. At this point, Sciel can just pretty much use anything to batter this thing. Now that it's marked, and again, just keep up the pressure. And this is exactly why we completely redid Lune's moves, because all of them are such high AP draining that she can literally just use one attack and then she's just stuck doing regular standard melee attacks for the rest of eternity. So we're gonna fix that, not to worry. In the meantime, we've got to absolutely beat the snot out of this thing because it does not give you very long. As you can see, it's about to attack next right after Sciel. So let's go ahead and keep up the pressure. At this point we got it halfway down. It puts 3 more shields back up on itself. Again, go ahead, get the parry, and just like that, that'll at least take one of them right back off. As you can see right there, it will flee in 3 turns, so again, do not give it the chance, otherwise you're going to have to keep chasing this thing down. And believe me, it is quite hard to get a hold of. So let's go ahead, keep up the pressure, and if we can, let's mark it. Someone hit it hard, for the love of gosh. We literally almost got this thing down. And Sciel, if you could finish this thing off, hopefully with your just main attack, since you're out of AP too, we might be able to get there. And just look at the loot we're actually going to get. Polished chroma catalysts. We've also got the item there, the recoat, to basically redo your skills, which we absolutely don't have to use with Lune. And at this point, let's go ahead, make sure we get the item that's hiding back here across the bridge, which is Energizing Jump Pictos. As you can see, it's this giant area that has a split both left and right. If we go up the right path first, we're going to see a very odd boy that seems quite out of place in this area. Again, there's not going to be any spoilers, but let's just say this odd boy is actually a very important character. As we can see, it seems to know about the other expeditions that went through here. Creations, Gestrals, everyone used to pass through here. Place of Joy. Mrs. Laughing with everyone. Greek Leet. Why do I forget? Everything's washed away. Yep, and that is all he's going to tell you for now, no matter how many times you talk to him. All I can say is, if you've played the game and you know how it ends, you'll understand who the boy is, and this will make so much sense. And I think it's very ironic to have the little boy and Sciel together like this. So let's go down the path to get ourselves to another item down here, just past some handholds. This time we're getting ourselves the Burning Mark Pictos. Now let's go right back up to where the boy was and continue on down the path. This time, we're going to prepare ourselves for the first of multiple boss battles we're going to have in this episode, so get ready.
That's a lot of dead Nevrons.
Who did?
I don't see
I
any.
think they mean us.
They must be Gestrals. They're cute, but they're idiots.
Oh. Oh, fuck.
Hey, we're not Nevrons!
I mean, Gustave, it's a waste of time trying to reason with the Gestrals. These creatures are clearly created by the Gestrals as a defense mechanism to keep anything away from the village. So, we are going to have to activate our own anti-defense protocol. Basically, the easiest way to get rid of these things, since they are stitched together, as you can see there, is basically to set them on fire. All of them resist electrical damage. All of them are weak to fire attacks. So, pretty sure we're going to be in pretty good shape considering we've got both Lune and Sciel that can pretty much incinerate anything. So, let's go ahead, keep the burn up, keep it on fire. And again, this thing's attacks are so ridiculously fast. Half the time, I can't even process it attacking fast enough to even counter it. So, luckily it doesn't do that much damage. So, let's go ahead, anyone who is not stunned by all these attacks, let's go ahead, switch over to Virtuous form. We're not going to need it because at this point anything that pokes it will pretty much take it out. But one thing to be careful about with these Gestral defenses is once they're gone, they're going to fall and blow up on you. So, always good to try and dodge that very last hit as we get a new weapon.
Don't worry. We don't want to hurt you, Patat. Noko sent us.
Sakapatate, oh, te noko te ke pate? Oh, hati noko ke parka debe Sakapatate.
If you guide us to your village,
Lero maricor. Okay, Lil. Pero kere mi bo Sakapatat. Ni sugama bi de virageo.
Guide us to your village, and maybe he'll make you something better.
Wait, what are you...
Keri Sakakipo?
Trust me. I hate liars.
Okay, Lil. Gama vive, leko gami Sakapata. Y gomi oro putu.
You're better with Gestrals than humans.
They're less complicated.
Oh, the clever foreshadowing they mixed in right there. As you see, we get ourselves a new weapon for Gustave. So, let's continue on, finally heal our party up. And now is when the maze of the level is going to start coming into play. So, we're going to have multiple paths to take in every section going forward. So, get ready and try to follow this as close as we can. So, let's go to the right path first, and that will get us under this little crevice in the wall. So once we're down here, the path splits again, keep going to the right. And once we're here, also go to the right so we can get ourselves some chroma. So basically take every right path possible. Now let's expand out and actually deal with this room itself. As you can see, we've got a brand new defensive construct by the Gestrals. And we've got a cave back there, which we'll actually explore once all this is over with. We just need to deal with this thing first. And this thing brings about 2 new enemies, both of which are going to be standard going forward. And I'll tell you, this thing is an absolute pain to deal with. As you can see, also its weak spot, which is right there in its elbow, does not go away when you shoot it, which is a huge help. And again, just like before, it's got very, very awkward attacks to try and time out. But one thing you do notice is, pretty much all of these defensive constructs basically stun you if they hit you, which is terrifying because they can basically make you forced to skip your entire turn. So let's be careful. Again, Lune, we are fixing this AP problem before this episode's over, about the midway point. So, let's go ahead and keep up the pressure on this one because it's just about gone. And the burn alone should get it. Watch out for this, because they do go at different speeds with the catapult launcher. Luckily, that's literally the only attack it has, so you don't have to memorize any other attacks for it. And at this point, big guy who's going crazy over there, get out of here. Just be careful for the flop. Let's try and dodge. Nope. And now that our characters are no longer stunned, let's go ahead and throw everything we have at the catapult. And yes, it will do the same thing when it goes down. So that is a feature of all of these Gestral constructs. They will try and self-destruct on you right when they're defeated. So let's go ahead, put everything we've got into this thing. And again, they are all weak to fire. Here it goes. Get ready for the flop, and daggone it to heck and back. I always hit it too late, but there you go. We got a brand new weapon for Lune that does electrical damage. So let's absolutely put that on, because the other one is neutral. It has no element. So electrical damage is good, not necessarily for these Gestral constructs, but definitely for things we're going to be dealing with in the future. So now that this area is cleared out, let's go ahead and make sure the items are good. Now again, this cave back here will do at the end of all this, because there is another Pictos hidden back there. And there's also 2 more of those constructs securely guarding it. So for now, let's go ahead, run back this way, grab the item.
Great.
And at this point, we've got ourselves Energizing Start II, which is a very good Pictos to have. Now let's go back to where that branch was, because again, we could have gone left or right. If you go left, we enter this big clearing. And the easy way to tell where you are is this big clearing has a house in the middle of it with an item. So, again, there's nothing on the edges, so you don't have to worry about anything just kind of hiding in the foliage back here. But you do notice, if we can get turned around here, that there is a hut right in the middle of everything. And if you swing the camera around, you can see there's an item inside there. So let's go to the opening right about there. And this one's ours as well.
Nice.
This is a revived tent, aka for our battles if we have to use an item to revive someone. And now, if we go back around, we've got ourselves an optional boss fight here, because this area does have a mime. And this mime is actually going to give the Baguette outfit for Lune. So that way, everyone can be French. So, let's go ahead. We know exactly how this works, but daggone it, doesn't make this thing any less of a pain. So, let's start whittling down all of its shields and trying to burn it at the same time. Because that burn doesn't care how much defense it has up, it's just keep tearing straight through. Let's go ahead, parry everything, because again, we need to stun this thing so that we can take it out. And luckily, we're about quarter stun. And Sciel usually does pretty good about hitting this thing hard. There, we're about up to a third of the way. And again, just keep up the pressure with everything we can hit it with. At that point, it's halfway to stun. And again, just hit it hard with all kinds of special attacks. Especially if you can end up parrying this thing, it'll be out of here in no time. So, keep up the onslaught, make sure it stays burnt. Here it comes. The hammer is hard because it's 2, then it delays for the other 2. So, I usually can't parry the hammer consistently, but I can always parry the slaps. So, at least that's good. Now it's defenseless. Get ready, this thing's about to shatter on us.
Let's push forward.
At any moment, the regular attack's not going to do it, but we do need a special attack to get it there. So, there's the burn. Back up. And now, Sciel, if you could do the honors. Boom! Now it's broken. So, now that the mine's broke, let's throw everything in the kitchen sink at this thing, because now is when we're going to do the most damage possible. Lune's still hanging in there with 1 HP somehow. I swear to goodness, always be careful when choosing what attacks you want on your character. Make sure you don't get them with all attacks that are 5 and above for AP, because you're going to have a very rough time if an enemy doesn't attack your character all that often, because basically you're just go 3, 4, 5 regular base attacks in a row just to be able to use special moves. It is a pain in the rear, and just like that, we've got ourselves the Baguette outfit for Lune. So that's all we can really do here at the moment. Let's go ahead, keep searching the perimeter, and we can make our way ultimately back out of here, because again, we had a choice of directions to come here. We could have gone left, we could have gone right. Now we need to reverse our decisions. As you can see, nothing up this way, but there is an item on the way out. So that gives us the color of Lumina, and now we are back at the fork in the road. And right at the fork, we can also get ourselves some more chroma, which is going to be important for some outfits later on. And of course, this is what the Baguette outfit looks like on Lune. Very, very similar to Mael's Lumiere outfit, ironically enough. So let's go ahead. You know, 100% we've got to put Gustave back in his, so that everyone can basically have the exact same outfit. This enemy didn't give us any items, so you just saw the final hit there. And again, it's going to be the same thing with this one, which is also in the same area. There's going to be our final hit. And again, watch out for this one. Get ready, dodge. Daggone. It seems like such an easy thing to dodge, but it's that dramatic fall they do that gets me every time. So now that the two base enemies are out here that didn't give us any items, let's go ahead and keep circling this zone, because there are some things hidden in this area before we continue on. Back here. This is going to be what I like to consider the main hub area once you get this far into the ancient sanctuary, because a lot of different directions that you take are ultimately going to spit you back out in this area with the blue glowing gestrals there. So let's continue down the path, and we can actually see a part that I actually have no idea how to get to. I've done the research, and if you go into photo mode, there's an entire zone down there that has a bunch of items, but it does not seem to be accessible in any way from the ancient sanctuary. So I'm not sure if this is something that you end up coming back to from the continent side, but at least for right now, you can't get to it. So let's go back this way where we've got all the really tall standing gestrals, and let's go back in the two dead-end corners. That's where we're going to get some more items. The healing tent in one side, and if we go to another dead-end corner, and I know it looks like you can jump up the rock wall here, but it's positioned just to where you can't get up there. So this one gave us the healing tent item. We want to go over this way and fight another one of these things that used to be a boss, now a regular enemy. And since we skipped the fights, that means it's not giving us anything good. That time, though, we finally successfully dodged it. And if we check this area out that he was guarding, this is what I like to call the gazebo room, because it's got that little building top on it. We can find ourselves all the way back here. You can see how these paths just connect to each other. That can make this so confusing. Basically, look at it like two giant circles. And over here is the interesting part.
63rd, Damien. Damn it! I can't believe we crashed into this. Whatever this massive thing is. So much for Gerald's vaunted reinforced front plates. I can't believe we have to abandon the cars already. We're nowhere close to the paintress. I'll definitely have a concussion. I could have sworn I saw some gestrals running out of that thing. I'm definitely hallucinating. Damn it, Hector. I told you to slow down!
Well, I can guarantee you weren't hallucinating because they were there. So now let's go ahead and get these 3 paint cage triggers. One in between the rocks there, one on top of the rocks, and one right beside the crate. As soon as we get those 3 taken out, we go down below. the other side of the gazebo down in the valley, and we can do some platforming to get over to where the actual paint cage is. And this time they're going to end up giving us
Nice.
a chroma elixir, basically the ability to heal away from one of the expedition flags. Speaking of which, if you go to the left of the expedition flag, get ready for yet another boss battle.
They sound like kids.
We must be getting close to the village.
Kinda looks the same as all the others.
Hey, don't get cocky, Maya. Look at its equipment. That looks a lot more dangerous than the others. No, seriously.
Well, he is absolutely right. This one is not going to become a basic enemy. This is absolutely the boss of the area. So get ready, because this thing's attacks are ruthless. 2 quick swipes, then a jumping attack, then a smacking attack, and that's just one of its various combos. So, just like all the others before it, we know that we can finally weaken this thing with fire, keep it burned, and defend or dodge everything this thing throws at you, and you won't have too hard of a time here. Again, burn is its weakness. It is resistant to electricity, and again, these attacks are brutal, but don't be fooled by that one. That one makes you think that you have to jump. No, it is just a smack at the entire party. So now it's going into defense mode, and as you can see, we finally have brand new attacks on her, as we are striving to keep this thing burned as long as possible. I think it's up to 7 turns now, if you look up top, and it's marked. So, get ready. Here's that crazy combo again, which is a little bit more sedated once it's in defense mode. Get ready. There's the 3-shot barrage, which comes so dang quick. There's very little build up to it. So, let's go ahead, switch to virtuous mode, which actually will be very good for us here. As you can see, the new attack. Let's go ahead and use our elemental trick. Just like that, we basically hit it with all 4 elements with the same attack. So, now we're the ones that's marked over here, so we need to be very careful on anything that Gustave takes next. Just like that, we've got 1, 2, 3 parries. Take it back at you. Just like that. Let's go ahead. Overcharge is ready. Let's go ahead. Even though it's resisted, it will still do a bunch of damage and potentially break him, just like that. At this point, just keep up the fire, and we can try to shoot the weak spot up there, but it's a little bit hard to hit, even with him immobilized. So, let's keep up our fire, and now that she's in virtuous mode, we want to stay in virtuous mode. So, let's go ahead with Flurret Fury. My gosh, talk about tongue twisters with her moves. And just like that, this thing's just about out of here. Let's go ahead and add to the fire going on, and it is done for.
Sakapatate garbage!
Chef,
Gorga, lumavria faitoru, kotara Gestral kamivori obinna, Gorga femikola nisu, poki.
Alright, so here we go. Now that that's taken care of, we get ourselves the new Pictos Breaker. We're also going to get a multitude of really good items, like the Polished Chroma Catalyst, which can level up your items all the way to level 9, and Recoat, which again lets us redo the skill tree of certain characters, aka that's how we fix Lune off camera. So over here you can see we've got the spiraling void to exit this area onto the Gestral Village. But before we go there, we've got 2 more Pictos to pick up. So let's go down here in the cave. And once we're through here is to be hiding out in the corner. So this is again one of our dead end items we talked about. All the way in the back, there it is. Now, let's go ahead back to the original section where we crouched down at. Again, this is where we had all those right and left paths. So let's go to the right all the way. Again, that's where we got the chroma that was way back here. This is where we fought that new thing with the catapult. And like we said, there is a cave back here that we would come back to. We were not prepared to handle these things. Now we can literally take them out in one turn. So get ready, because this ambush comes on you quick. So as you can see, there's a rope to get out of here. There's one of those things, aka the catapult one. But don't worry, he's got backup, because there's both of them. So again, since he doesn't give us an item, there's going to be the final attack. And it is done for. Can we dodge it? Not quite. At least we've done it a few times. So quickly run past the other one, and we want to go around here, and there is the only other Pictos attack Lifesteal. Now on to the Gestral Village.
It's really a village of Gestrals.
They seem better at surviving than humans.
I guess intelligence is not a prerequisite for survival on the continent.
Afraid not. So if we go to Juju Bree, he is to be our main merchant here. And as we see, we do need to fight the merchant to get ourselves an extra item. So who wants to be the lucky person? Well, this is the Gestral Village, so you know Lune needs to do most of the battling here. So let's go ahead and start this one off with, again, our elemental trick. That way we hit him 4 times, one with each element. And again, this one's going to be very similar to the Gestral Arena fight that you remember from last time. The second enemy, the Lune fought, that had the invisible whip. Basically the exact same enemy, just thankfully nowhere near as strong. So, still got that really slow, awkward jab. Let's go ahead, hit it with the ice attack, and just like that, it's just about done. Can we parry it out? Not quite. But at this point, pretty much any poke will get rid of it. So just like that, the merchant's done. And what item do we unlock for our troubles? We got ourselves a brand new weapon. So, Demonram, let's go ahead and grab that. And a few more items, mainly the crucial items for the road, like the recoat, and brand new Pictos, critical moment. And the rest of them can just stay there. As you can see, that's going to be a brand new weapon for Gustave. Now, other important locations here in the Gestral Village, because there's a lot of random people to talk to that don't give you anything. Now, the little guy is going to give you the Gestral outfits for Gustave. So, those two only cost 1,000. And where it says find an expeditioner, that is not referring to Sciel. So that is still another expeditioner beyond her. So, go to the stage, run behind it, and we can get ourselves some chroma. But not just chroma, because if we go back out from around the stage back here, you'll also see that there is a rope to climb up here. So, let's go ahead, warp our way up. And this is the Gestral outfit on Gustave, by the way, just so you can see what it looks like. And now that we are king of the mountain, if we go out to the other end, we can get ourselves some more chroma. Now, also notice there is a door to the manor back here. The only thing I could find that was interesting that you could do here was there's a device you can turn on the table here. That's literally the only thing interesting I found you could do. Otherwise, it's pretty much all shut doors except for the main door. So, not much else. Now, back to it. Let's go ahead and see Golgra herself.
It wasn't that strong.
Are you the chef?
There are so many questions I'd love to ask.
We need to get to the paintress. Noko said you could help us cross the sea.
Others have passed through here.
Dumbai kaka expeditiono. Katuma tumaro. Gororito bota. Upokiso le romali.
A white-haired man destroyed it.
Surimoto priva. Me respecto.
You know him?
Io sano villaggio. Willa foserito. Lofo. Ok. Sano bibo bota. Willa foserito eskie. Nima Cuba. Rico eskie koranisu gama watero.
So SKA exists?
Kimotira. Esquiero potupokiso. Kinikako warrior litogaki. Ikokio passwordito.
Why?
Esque tirarofo. Tupo esquiere un marifiso. Esque kimabanofo migeri. Amigiza irresponsibile. Kibariko que me esquie.
We already defeated your ultimate Sakapatate.
Ki ma sumi karatam. Rito tesakima regian del tornamento. Surimoto priva. Me respecto. Aiko. Sano legendary warrioro. Zam zam. Herodura.
Well, you know, this had to come down to a tournament of some kind, especially considering the Gestral Arena last time was the secret one.
Look into me, stranger. Puki puki. Isu.
The stranger?
Dumbai kaka expeditiono. Malito de warrior. Tu me kuwa ultimate Sakapatate?
Yeah, let's just warp ourselves to the arena. And just like with the secret Gestral Arena, we're going to have 3 different one-on-one competitions, followed by a special 4th match. So let's throw Gustave up first, since he'll typically go easiest to hardest. And this time we got big hands, so let's go ahead, get this thing marked, and do everything we can to try and just parry it, because these enemies are so weak you can just about take them out with 2 or 3 counterattacks. So, here it comes. There's that invisible whip/hook that he does. And at this point, he's pretty much halfway there. Let's just attack, which also heals ourselves because of the Pictos. At this point, let's keep up the pressure. He's just about out there. There's the counterattack, and he's done. So, first one, not a problem. Second fight, up to Lune. And this one is Dominic Giant Feet. So, we know how this thing's going to attack. It's going to have the 1 punch, and it's going to have the 2 overhead punch. So this thing's extremely easy to counterattack. Get ready. There it is. And boom! Look how much damage that did. So, just like that, let's get the elemental trick going. 1, 2, 3, 4. Literally every element in the book. There's the burn. It's out of here. So, on to Sciel. She's going to get the hardest one, the 3rd one. And this is back to Matthew the Colossus. Yes, he makes a reappearance from the secret arena. And this time he's doing twice the damage. But twice the damage is not to make him anywhere near a threat. So, at this point, Sciel just needed to burn him. Now go into virtuous mode. And if he's lucky, he'll actually get attacked by it. Oh, there it is. With virtuous mode, counterattack, forget about it. Alright, on to the 4th secret opponent. Here is the Stranger.
Wait, that's...
Sciel?
What? How? You guys? You're alive! I thought I was the only one left. I knew you were resourceful. How did you get here?
umano, sarà chi pottura, chi massano, chi mano faito, ronda faito che no be.
They're expecting a bit of a show. Shall we?
Alright, sorry Sciel, they wanted a show and that's exactly what we're gonna have to give them. So, let's see who's really the champion of the Gestrals. I mean, you knew we had to throw Lune in here. She's the one that's literally obsessed with the Gestrals as an entire species, so she needs to be their champion. There's no other way around it. So, Elemental Trick Sciel right the heck out of here. Just like that, it's done already. Just like that, she is Queen of the Gestrals.
Well, that wasn't so bad.
Yeah, it really just felt like beating old people.
So it wasn't so bad.
Am I one of those old people?
One day, I hope. Hey, how'd you end up here?
Oh, after the beach, I ended up in an odd yellow forest, not too far from here. Had to dodge a few Nevrons, but luckily I met a Gestral who guided me here. What about you?
Well, I woke up next to a waterfall and...
We can talk later. Let's get back to Golga.
No time to lose.
No time to lose indeed. Now we get ourselves a tutorial with Sciel, if you take it. And believe me, you absolutely want to take it, unless you're just watching the video for that, because her skill set is quite unique. So, first of all, it all revolves around this foretell ability. So, if we use focused foretell, basically that's going to put a set of cards on them. So they've got 5 cards with that attack if it's used at the beginning of the turn. So if they have no cards on them and you use that attack, it adds 5 to them. Now, you can either get yourself a sun charge or a moon charge. You notice that the focused one gave us a sun charge, so now if we use our other attack, we get the moon charge as well, and it took off the cards. So, just like that, let's go ahead and let it punch us a few times, because if we accidentally start counterattacking this thing, we might not make it through a tutorial. So once you have a sun and a moon charge, you end up with a twilight charge, so you get twice the amount of foretells applied. So just like that, instead of giving it 5, we end up giving it 10, and the counterattack's just going to take it out of there. So, not to worry, it is a bit convoluted at first, but her attacks are some of the strongest out there.
Get out of my way!
The password is get out of my way.
Very gestralish.
Es que nesto te soquiman villaggio. Suniso, popo kisolero. Rico paswordito coranisu. Suniso gamabibe toko.
As loud as we can. Got it.
Thank you for everything.
Io sano bibotura.
Gestral positivity is so heartwarming.
Una fosse. Rico de bagdoro ana. Rico femi coranisu.
Thanks, Chef.
Alright, and by the way, you actually do have an option to fight her. Don't do it, whatever you do. Literally, she does 8,000 damage per hit, even as high of a level as we are. So, this forces us back to camp. If we go to sleep, we finally get to see why.
I can't believe it. We're gonna meet the Esquier.
The Gestrals and Esquier. The tales are true.
Do you feel something?
It's not good for you to see this. Yes, I understand. It's her fault, and she doesn't even know it. But you can't be here.
What are you talking about? What's my fault? What is this?
You should never have come. You're only going to make things worse for everyone. Now take your friends and go home. Let them spend their final year in peace. This is your only warning.
I can't wait to see...
Mime?
Hey.
Hey. Hey.
It was him. I saw him. The white-haired man and this woman.
What are you talking about?
Sciel, breathe. Slow down. What did you see? Think carefully. Every detail could be important.
He said we need to go home and that it's my fault. And that I'm gonna make things worse for everyone. You were all frozen. I couldn't. It was like a waking nightmare.
It's okay. It's okay.
What else? You said there was a woman.
Lune, maybe later. She had a mask, and...
I know this is hard, but I need you to focus, okay? While the details are fresh.
Lune, ask her tomorrow. Hey, breathe. Listen to me. You're safe, do you understand? Okay? It's over.
And the thing that no one's really explaining there is the fact that they're literally following us. So let's go all the way back to the yellow section and back to this vendor, because if you remember before, we couldn't get the one hairdo because we didn't have the person. That person was Sciel, so now let's finally get the artist hairdo, basically given the long hair look, which works good, especially since you can't even see her hair in the default. So let's go ahead and throw that on. And just like that, we've got our first style for Sciel. And ultimately, once we get done with that, we are just going to travel all the way back near Spring Meadows, which is where Esquia's nest is. And this is where we are going to get ready for the next episode. So, Ancient Sanctuary and Gestral Village have so much to see and do. As you saw there, not only did we get new outfits, we got an absolute ton of Pictos. So if you've not already, please check out the Expedition 33 playlist. Like, share, comment, subscribe so more can see our videos, and we will see you back next time. Take care, everyone.